okay. Suns keep coming any day. Suns keep rising every way. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Alright, okay. Hear it through my window shades. I'm doing fine. Okay, I got one more video. This is a deli. This is a deli. You just got a can of beans for a hat. This is a normal day. I hit that light. I got another one. I don't like that one. Nope. No. That might be the one. I think I'm already recording. Yeah, that's definitely a recording light. That light's definitely recording. Welcome to the realm of Millenia. Be ye man, woman, child, a spirit, creature, or demon. Be ye a native, a migrator, or maybe an invader into the realm. Welcome, for I am your host, the Millenia Mailman, here today. Continuing on with ThTh, Thursday on the sisters. I went over 3 of the 4 sisters, but there are 4 sisters that make up the daughter seasons, the fate changers, the manipulators of probability, you know, those sisters. They are, the way I had them, they were modeled to emulate, but not exactly one for one in any capacity. They were modeled to, my renditions of them were made to model the Greek fate sisters. There's only 3 of them, and I have 4, right? So instead of doing one for one, I split it upon the 4 different seasons, called them the daughter seasons, fate changers, probability sisters, so on and so forth, and ran with it. The eldest of the bunch is April, representative of spring. She's a more auntie figure, and those around her generally just are prone to share their feelings and everything because they feel invited and welcomed when in her presence. But other than that, it's kind of dangerous to be around her because you generally it feels like you're getting something ripped out of you, and that something is quite literally all your luck and fortune, as well as your vitality and natural energy. It's getting torn apart of you, like your soul, when you're in her presence. The second sister is a stunning and enticing vixen who's just overall unreasonable with her wardrobe clothing. She's a more motherly figure, not just an auntie, hey auntie. She's a motherly figure. That sister is Summer. Summer is the motherly figure, being people will never hesitate to be lewd in her presence. So that's a really common thing with her. She's nonchalant, she's business savvy, she's a working woman, right? She's plenty capable, plenty awesome, and it's unexpectedly dangerous to be around her because if you're in her presence and not naturally lewd like everyone else, you'll be more so prone to becoming violent at everyone who is lewd in your presence. So it's always a coin toss on whether it's a 100% pervy day or a scary day because of the violence, right? That's the second born. Third born is Autumn, representative of the fall season. Pumpkin patches and pumpkin spice and pumpkin lattes. She is closer to like a 5 to 7 on the appearance scale, even by fellow women's standards. She's a 5. She's not that much of a looker, but she is a workaholic, and she's a bit of a weird weeaboo, waifu. What are the terms? Yaoi, yandere. She's a yaoi lover. She's a weird pervert, her gosh darn self, naturally, because as a workaholic, the bit of like passive influence she has on other people in her presence tend to get klutzy, and that everyone has two left feet or butterfingers, sweaty palms. No one's functioning. So her experiencing a whole bunch of clumsy people all throughout life when she's a very capable person sets her apart. So she is an introvert, a workaholic introvert at that, who isolates herself, and that isolation molded her to be a weird anime loving pervert with a more out of pocket and highly questionable moral mentality, reasonings and rationales, and that makes for her having this weird stepsister character type as the third born child, and last but not least, the youngest of all of them, the fourth born, the last born of the sisters, Madame Winter. Winter is who this video is particularly about. This particular video is all about Winter, and people are more reserved around Winter passively. She herself is more of a grandma-esque character, and she's extremely cold on the exterior, but like a teddy bear. She's just soft, warm, and cuddly on the inside, but she's a very stern-faced person. She's a grandma-esque. I ain't your grandma, I'm just a grandma. If I was your grandma, I'd be nice and warm and loving to you, like all the close people in my life, but to anyone and everyone else, I'm that grandma that hates your soul. She's got a black heart. She's cold. Yeah, grandma's always been cold. You should be wondering what you could do to be on grandma's good side. But here you done stepped on my lawn, and now you about to get shot off the porch by grandpa, granddad. Get off my yard. What was that movie called back in the day? Haunted House, that Halloween movie. That was a good one. Right? Winter is successful in business due to her natural intuitions and wisdom of life experience, despite being the youngest, I know. She's introverted, but she's highly sociable with a very great memory. She's more traditional in her clothing style and choice of attire. Generally, the danger of being around her and in her presence comes from her natural allure. People don't have that ability to combat. When in her presence, people generally get the natural human body sweats to cool off, because when in her presence, the body says, hey man, it is time to die if it gets too cold. It is best to shake and shiver to create warmth. Because again, she's a very cold person. Cold exterior, it's utterly terrifying. I'm getting a cold sweat just thinking about it. Ooh, the brush of my neck, the timbers are making my hairs stand on end. Grandma is a scary, scary being. So it's much less the fact that she herself is scary, because again, she is a warm-hearted character, but she's got a very stone cold face and kind of character to be around. She's stone cold unless you actually are talking to her. So a part of that and the aura that she's giving off, people are just put on their toes and naturally feel like it's best to sit up straight because grandma is around and grandma's watching. What do I do? But something that I made contradictory for it just right was the fact that Winter is a very naive. So she is the youngest, but she's naive. The only reason she's always capable of being business savvy per se is her natural instincts and wisdom of as if she was so much older, like an elder, right? And the last of it I have for her is that she's conservative in her appearance. She's traditional like that, but her body itself is still too provocative, that in a way that attracts the eyes due to her natural figure. So, something about the sisters, unlike a lot of Greek renditions, especially in the cinematic world, people make the Fate sisters some ugly people. I think the Fate sisters would be more convincing and more likely reasonable to never offend if they were like hot. Because again, they have the power of fate on their side. So if they're hot and they have this crazy ability, just that would kind of like perpetuate the idea and the narrative of, so the hot graph makes sense. The hotter they are, the crazier they tend to be. That kind of makes sense. The math is mathing for me. Sign that check and write it off, right? So all the sisters are not very ugly, not ugly at all, let alone that -5 that I think the movie the Disney Hercules. I think the Disney Hercules movie had the Fate sisters as some ugly suckers. Like, not my rendition. Get out of here, dude. And leave me alone. That was nasty. The daughter seasons, summer, winter, April, autumn, they're all lovely. They got their own natural, awesome quirks and everything about them. And I have them I have their introduction into the book itself through meeting the character Jackie Tunnel Skelly, and you'll get to know more about them through that encounter, where the Devil's Advocate and Jackie Tunnel Skelly start an interaction of conversation with them. I felt the need to do a whole video series on them because it's the Fate sisters, dude. It's the Fate sisters. Wow. So I just felt like doing that because I naturally am not going to be able to articulate that without giving them their whole entire chapter. So again, I'm putting it on a Theater Thursday so I could allow you to be able to have that going in for future videos and so on and such forth, because it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm not at all writing all that and taking up my book space. So by doing that all at once, let alone in book number 1 and stuff, right? So I'm creating the precedent for those who want to know more and see more lore on them. Their introduction is brought into the novel and the novel series through them interacting with the Devil's Advocate of Jackie Tunnel Skelly, and that's the interaction happening. If you didn't know it before, now when you get to that point in the novel, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I can imagine the sisters now. They look amazing. Yeah. Makes sense what's going on around them during that chapter because, yeah, it just makes sense. The location makes sense now, the this and the that. I promise it makes sense. It doesn't always make sense going through the book, but with more and more background being released, if you're actually following the channel, remembering this and that, by the time the book comes out, you'll be searching and sifting through it page by page, obsessed with trying to read more of the book. I wholeheartedly believe that and hope that is true for you and you enjoy it. But hey, I digress. But hey, that's just me, your Millennium Mailman here today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe. Send the message to me through the Gmail at millenniummailman@gmail.com, or send a donation for the channel in some capacity, what or another, through GoFundMe. I have those GoFundMe links in the description of every single one of my videos. But hey, by all means, it's up to you. Enjoy the video, enjoy my future ones, and by all means, peace, have a good day. Bye-bye. Stop.